you guys heard of Hot Ones, obviously.
Yeah.
I fucking love Hot
Yeah,
Ones.
Bobby Lee did a Hot Ones episode. Yeah. He craps himself. He poo-pooed himself.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
But he does talk on his podcast about the fact that he has a very loose asshole. And that he tends to shit himself a lot, actually.
But can't you like work on that?
It's Kegels,
like
maybe.
Kegels.
Maybe Kegels.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, maybe.
But work what, your anus muscles?
But
yeah, or vagina muscles too, or like your peeing strength, like the stream. If you have trouble, like you do work the Kegels, you can just like cut it on, off.
Yeah,
The Kegels.
I'm actually doing my Kegels right now. I don't know if it shows.
Oh, because you could.
I can smell it. Yeah, no, definitely, absolutely.
What are you doing right now? What?
I'm
Are you doing your Kegels?
I'm doing my
I don't know what
Kegels.
you're talking about, man. Left.
Just the
Left.
it's like it shows more with Sam because his eyebrows are like
too thick.
His eyebrows.
there.
If
I
he
know.
does that fast enough, he actually flies away.
It's like it's basically like, so you get him trimmed.
That's how he gets in
have
it.
to.
That's how he gets in at Oshiaga, actually.
Yeah.
And everybody holds on to him. Go, Sam, go!
That's pretty cool.
It's really
That's pretty cool.
nice.
You can handle the weight of
Exactly.
several people with,
Yeah.
with the aerodynamics of your eyebrows. I would assume, like, like how it makes sense to get them done. I get mine done too.
Yeah,
It's
you
like
have
when, like the
What do you mean get him done, bro?
Well, you
just
get them
fucking-
waxed, you get them
Hey, listen,
threaded, you get 'em-
I took a shower this morning. I took a shit, my fucking rasoir, and I.
Well, yeah, well,
That's how I do it, man.
absolutely, and it
yeah.
shows. But like, it's one of those things that like, it's
What do you
like,
mean it
look
shows?
at
It does like
skull.
what?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What do you mean it shows, bro?
You look like The Rock permanently, except without the muscles and the.
So I
the
do my
abilities.
own eyebrows.
Oh man.
Hola Felicia, hey, stop bumming my phone. My phone blowing up. Come on, you need to go home. Get out. Call me Felicia. High school romance. Aww. Now you got a boyfriend. Come on. And I'm still a drug addict. Puff, puff. Hold up. I need a fucking blow up. I need a fucking bang. I need some fucking rain. I need a bang.
Let's talk about your journey doing jiu-jitsu and how it all started off. So you were a little boy. What drew you to?
Bullies. I used to get my ass kicked in high school.
Corny.
Yeah, that's fair. Like just one single tear. I'm like, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Everyone still makes fun of
Yeah,
me.
you corny little bitch.
No. Okay, let's restart that.
Super fucking rough. Just like the most me. I'm just like, starts like hyperventilating. Like,
You get the fuck out of my garage, you little bitch.
nerd with your fucking glasses. I'm like, yeah. No,
Okay, let's restart. But now I'm gonna slap some sad inspirational music. Okay.
In post edit.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought he was gonna beatbox some like really sad shit.
No, it's gonna happen after.
I was excited for a second. No, I did the. I got bullied when I was in grade school all the way to high school. Through high school until like sec 4 or 5, and basically what happened is I was in, I don't know, grade 5 or something like that, and my stepdad like was tired of hearing me like cry about like getting my ass kicked. So he put me into Taekwondo, and I started doing Taekwondo, and I started like kicking people, and it was fun. Like I did it for a while, and then basically I did Taekwondo for my entire high school time and half of grade school. So by the time I got to the end of high school, I wasn't getting bullied anymore because like I think it was a confidence thing. It's also like I started doing theater, so I was like I wasn't no longer like I wasn't like the nerd anymore. I was like the dude that does theater and makes people laugh.
the artistic creative type.
And I was always goofy and funny. I was never like being serious. So it was like I made them laugh in the audience, and they're just kind of like the next.
I like this guy. So it's
That's
safe
it. That's it. That's totally it.
So it's safe to say that like in high school you stopped getting bullied.
I stopped getting bullied halfway through sec 4, so grade 10.
Oh shit! So you did your whole high school.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got fucked up in high school. Yeah. They busted me up.
Super relatable.
They'd gang up. Like I'd be like walking the hallways alone at one point.
Did,
and, like,
did you
they'd
go
just be
to
like,
a public school in high school?
Oh yeah.
Was it
Massey Vanier. It's,
okay? À Vanier.
Oh yeah, Massey Vanier. Vanier College and Massey Vanier are two things. So Massey Vanier is a high school. So it's like English and French come together from all over the eastern townships. So like Sutton, Knowlton, and all those other places, Cowansville, and they all fucking show up there.
So it's a lot of white people.
Yeah, there was like 2 black guys.
Yeah, exactly.
And a black girl, yeah, for sure. And I remember it's funny because like the prominent style, like the cool people style, was like the rapper style, like
yeah,
baggy
exactly.
pants and all that stuff. And literally every dude was a white dude. Like
Exactly.
from the Eastern Townships, like super keb, like wearing like crazy hip hop gear. I was one of them for a long time. I was like
with the fitted and everything.
Oh yeah, I latched onto that style.
Everybody was in high
Dude,
school.
like oh my god, that was my and that also it formed me for my music that I love.
Right.
So I'm like, did it stop recording?
No.
Okay, I was like, oh no. Yeah, and then basically I remember like it was just I'd get my ass kicked by those guys.
Right.
Like a lot.
So you did taekwondo for how many years?
7 years.
7 years. Okay, so you could still kick like crazy.
I can kick pretty good. Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay,
I did taekwondo for 7 years, and then basically I moved to Montreal at 17, and then got a place, and then it was just basically I turned 18 pretty much right away, and then it was just like, oh, I can buy alcohol now, and it turned into like just like 2 years of like partying and like
being a loudmouth and super confident and
no, just not training at all.
I
just
sorry.
stopped. I stopped.
Sorry,
I
yeah.
Didn't do anything.
And then at 19, 20, you went back to
21, I think. That was an embarrassing story. So at 21, basically what happened was my buddy and I were like hanging out, and he's just like, "Oh, do you want to watch some UFC?" And I hadn't seen UFC before. I'm like, cool. I've heard about it.
You were how
21, 22.
21, and so this is probably like what 10 years ago, something like that, when UFC was like starting to become a popular thing.
Yeah, it was after the initial Ultimate Fighter TV show.
The first couple seasons.
Yeah, it was getting some traction, and I remember like my first fight that I watched was Anderson Silva versus Irvin.
Keith Irvin.
No, not Keith Irvin. It was doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Basically, this dude that's like shredded jack dude with a bunch of tattoos versus Silva. And I remember like me and my buddy were watching that fight, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna put my money on the shredded dude with tattoos. And my buddy's like, okay. And then I bet against Anderson Silva.
And he was a favorite, probably.
Oh my! I had no idea what favorites were back then.
Silva was a favorite.
Oh yeah, and he destroyed him. Like he just knocked him out. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? And then I was like, you know what? That's kind of cool. I wanna try.
I feel like Silva encapsulates like the fighter that every little boy that's never fought a fight wants to become.
Oh man,
because he's skinny.
Because he's skinny. He's like, yeah, exactly. Because he's skinny. You little skinny little bitch. Because he's little skinny. But it's true that he did.
Not skinny anymore.
He is kind of fat, but not fat, but chubby, but not chubby, but like thicker. But he encapsulated like the almost like Dragon Ball Z-esque type, Street Fighter-esque, like a romantic fighter. Really,
yeah, and he's also very beautiful too.
And
like smooth baldness and like really dreamy eyes.
And like his voice.
Oh my god, yeah, for sure.
So cute, like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's it. And he actually does a lot of Michael Jackson dancing stuff. Yeah, he's
okay.
Actually,
so you're watching television back in fucking 1992.
No,
no, 2011. 2011. I'm kidding. But
no, I was watching it, and then basically I was like, oh, I want to try this. I want to see what this is all about, kind of thing. Right. And I had done when I did Taekwondo. One of the teachers came from Montreal like once every 2 weeks to show us Jiu-Jitsu or grappling, and it was like let's understand that it was garbage Jiu-Jitsu that was like
back
super
then it was pretty bad.
Yeah. This was like the beginning of Jiu-Jitsu. Like and I remember like doing a couple grappling things, and then
what's the difference between the back then and now? Like I feel like now it's like people are actually gonna rip your arm off versus back then it was like I got you in a lock.
No. So it was gritty back then for sure.
The sport has evolved like exponentially because now kids are adding their own moves. They're coming up with their own subs, so the growth of like jiu-jitsu is like going exponentially. Like,
and like back then, the classes that you got, you feel like they were like just like less.
Oh no! When I started, it was basically my teacher. Like I was in like high school and all that stuff, and basically my teacher would come down from Montreal. He'd go learn some moves from probably like a blue belt, and like a blue belt that wasn't at a level of creativity that blue belts are today.
Yeah,
kind of thing, right?
Exactly.
And basically he'd come down and show us moves, like show us an arm bar and show us how to do like
a triangle.
No, not even like not even triangles, like arm bar and like one or two chokes, and that was it.
Chokes, yeah.
It was basic, and I remember on my first day of training, I was like, okay, I'm gonna join a gym. Like I was like 21, 22, and I did a drop into TriStar.
which
So-
is now promo clip TriStar.
TriStar. When I was there, GSP was there. He was already like it was already like started. And as
His
like,
career in the UFC had already started.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he was-
2011, 2012 ish.
yeah,
yeah,
that's his prime.
That's prime GSP.
Yeah, it was basically so I showed up to do a jiu-jitsu class and I had no in my brain I was like I'm a blue belt because I've been doing jiu-jitsu in high school for 5 years but not really doing jiu-jitsu. And so in my brain I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about
to
stuff.
rip some fucking necks off.
Oh
yeah.
my brain was like I'm gonna fuck up, like I'm gonna beat everyone up kind of thing. And then I went to TriStar and I'll never forget this. It was I show up and we're Faraz Zahabi, who's like one of the most brilliant MMA coaches in the fucking world and like a wizard in jiu-jitsu. He's there teaching the class. And I don't know who the fuck this guy is at that point.
Yeah.
I'm super new. I don't know anything. But then like he walks by and like he's teaching triangles. And I start like I'm kind of doing the triangle not the right way. And he's walking by. I'm like, hey, so I'm just making sure I want to have like, am I doing this the right way? Like, look, I'm already a blue belt. That's what I say.
That's how you
That's what I say to Faraz Zahabi, one of the most brilliant martial artists in the world who deals with punks like me every day and also trains George St. Pierre. And I'm like, oh, I'm kind of a blue belt, so like, you know, I have some experience. He's like, okay, show me. And then like I do the triangle, and like you know how to do a triangle. Basically, like you put your ankle behind your knee for the lock. What I did is I crossed my ankles to do a weird
like double ankle.
Yeah.
Double ankle lock.
Oh, like a squeeze.
exactly, which
Like
is
a
not
squeeze.
it's not a triangle. It doesn't do
No,
anything.
no.
And then he looks at me. He's like, where the fuck did you get your blue belt? And walks away. Doesn't say anything. And I'm just like,
Oh
traumatized.
shit.
And then after that, I did sparring. So we all use spar in jiu-jitsu and stuff. And I got my ass kicked by everybody. Literally, though, in the entire room. Like
Even the people that didn't have a blue belt.
the people that the guys that were on their fourth class destroyed me. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, but not at TriStar. I was like too embarrassed to go back. So I joined H2O. Richard Ho is the coach there. And I did 3 months of jiu-jitsu there. And then my buddy joined TriStar. And then I got like a little base of jiu-jitsu. And then my buddy was at TriStar. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go back. Trained at TriStar. In my brain, I wanted to be a UFC fighter. I was full on. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna
Develop whatever skill I need to do.
exactly. And I was obsessed with it. And I was like watching MMA every day. I started working like in an MMA store. I was training
shit.
every single day.
You were selling those T-shirts there?
Oh yeah, the affliction shit.
The Affliction.
Oh man, bro.
That's prime time, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Prime time GSP right there.
Oh my goodness. It's like the tap out.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's like it's funny because like if you're in 2002 and someone's wearing tap out, you're like, oh, he'll probably fuck me up.
Yeah.
If you're in 20 and 22 and
You're like,
wearing
oh,
tap
he
out,
probably
you're like,
does
oh,
crack.
He's never done
He
anything.
probably smokes crack.
He's probably into hard drugs.
I smoke crack till I tap out.
Oh my god.
Till I have a heart attack.
Tap, nap, or nap. It's like, why'd you say nap twice? It's like, it's what I like to do.
I'm having a seizure.
Oh my god. No, yeah. So I ended up. I went back to TriStar, and then I trained under Faraz Zahabi for I don't know, like 7 years or something like that.
So now you guys are friends.
I mean, like, yeah, like if we're friendly, like for sure. Like, I mean, we don't
Get
hang
him on
out.
the podcast.
You can all, yeah. I don't know if he does podcasts, but like he's definitely.
He could probably call in, I feel.
He could drive here in like 15 minutes, bro.
Really?
He lives in like Descartes or something.
Oh, shit.
Well, the gym is there rather.
Yo, guys,
Yeah.
I need to take a pee-pee like so bad.
Go for it. I need to
Okay.
have another
Okay, so let's
Yo, we're out of
break
we're
time?
out of this, so it's gonna be beer.
a hoe garden. As
Okay,
long
so-
as I'm not dealing with pimps. Oh yeah.
Okay, we're gonna restart at you at TriStar.
So how does it make you feel that you're like at the same time a funny person, but you're also able to kill somebody?
That's
I feel like it's a dynamic with a lot of funny people. Like the whole.
I think a lot of jiu-jitsu people are like
are like,
charismatic and
yeah,
yeah.
they're kind of like funny dudes.
Yeah.
And I realized this about this show, like today, it's like we're like three like somewhat funny, handsome, good-looking, charming dudes,
Charismatic
all
as well.
all in one
Yeah,
podcast.
I like to think so too.
Yeah. All in one podcast, which at the beginning of the show, I don't know if we got the clip, but it creates fireworks. It's like throwing a match in a box with fireworks and trying to contain
That's not creating fireworks. That's the fireworks are already there.
right.
So you're literally.
But you know what I
just-
mean.
But like also
it.
like fireworks could be defined as like the expression of the fireworks in the sky. So like what we create is like we have fireworks in a box, but what we create are fireworks for everybody to see.
Well, actually, no. Technically, like fireworks, when they are built, they're built in mind of what will be created in the sky. It's not a random.
Yes,
occurrence.
but
So
what's the
basically-
difference between like a fireworks like that you see in a box and fireworks that you see in the sky? You still call them fireworks both, no?
They're both fireworks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what we do is create fireworks. We're not fucking Vietnamese people making fireworks in a box.
In a
Is
manufacturing.
that where they make fireworks?
I don't know, I guess.
I guess so. Let's just go with that, okay, Leo. For the sake of the conversation, please just let's let it flow. We have to let it flow. So Vietnamese people do fireworks. You do cooking.
That's accurate.
Those bi-curious. Anyways, what were we talking about?
We're talking about the three charismatic people.
killing people.
Oh,
and
oh
having a
yeah,
good
yeah,
show.
yeah, yeah. No. The fact that a lot of funny people are also killers now because a lot of the MMA community. I was telling Adele this. I was like, a lot of these characters are funny black sheep dudes that end up in the fucking same room together, rejected by society, bullied in high school, told that they were too handsome and good looking to make it in the entertainment and podcast industry. It all gathered together inside of a MMA room, which actually before we left off to the PB break, you were talking about how you got your purple belt under Faraz Zahabi, which is one of the most well-known MMA coaches in the history of MMA. Do you feel like he knows you or you're just another student in the background?
Oh, sorry. You want to re-ask that question while I didn't burp into the thing? If you want to use that as a clip.
Okay, let's restart.
Sorry, I literally
It's all
just,
good.
I'm like, I apologize.
It's all
Like that
good.
came out of me.
It's all good.
I'm just going to cut this part and now we're going to start with... Go.
So like if I can talk to him like he knows me. He knows me by
Right.
first name and
Yeah.
100%.
Because he gave a purple belt. And I feel like Faraz Zahabi, for him to give a
He doesn't
purple
give
belt...
purple belts out easily.
Exactly.
The speech he gave the day I got my purple belt was he only gives out purple belts to people he believes will be black belts one day. Like,
Right.
He won't if he doesn't think that you'll continue on that journey or like there'll be something. He's like, I won't do it.
Now what
That must
happened-
be heartbreaking for the person. Anyways, keep going.
Now, having such an intimate moment with a coach like Faraz Zahabi, where he dishes out a purple belt when he doesn't dish out a lot of purple belts, and having that connection with him, what made you turn your back against TriStar and go to 10th Planet?
It wasn't so much turning my back. It was just
Convenience sake?
convenience and just like I moved. Like I was
Yeah.
living closer to TriStar, and then I moved literally in front of
10th Planet.
10th Planet, and I was just like, and I already had a lot of friends at 10th Planet. I knew Lou from like the many times that I trained. Like I would do drop-ins every once in a while, kind of thing. And then basically I was just like, I knew the crew there already, and it happened. It was basically like my membership was done at TriStar, and I was gonna renew, and then I was like, well, I live in front of this gym now, and I quit. Mind Geek is next to TriStar, so for me, like after work, going straight to TriStar was always the easiest thing in the world. Then I got a
It's
new
true.
job.
It's both on Descartes.
Yeah, they're literally next to each other. Like you see the building from each other, kind of thing. Like they're
That's
like,
crazy.
It's across
but
the
didn't
street.
before it being called Mind Geek, what was it called? Manwin.
Manwin. Yeah. I was there. Or I was originally there at Manwin. Then I quit. And then I started freelancing, and then I got offered a position at Mind Geek, and I went.
I
back.
think Manwin is a crazy name because it's like a porn company and it's literally Manwin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like-
no, that's part of the reasons
part
they
of the
probably
whole-
like. They're like, maybe
yeah.
we don't go. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
No, but with TriStar, it was like, and I specifically texted Faraz or talked to Faraz about it. I'm like, hey, I just moved into the other gym, or I'm moving my home. I'm gonna be right in front of this gym. It's convenient. It makes sense. I know if I keep going to TriStar, I'm not gonna be training as much as I want to be training. And this way, it's like it'll make more sense for me. And he gave me his blessing. He's like, yeah, no stress. Like he also like he doesn't give a fuck
If
about
I didn't
me.
give a fuck, bro, you're not gonna do MMA.
Yes.
Well, that's it. That's
you I mean, you're not gonna like fight in
I care about him as my first coach kind of thing, and I'm like I genuinely like I'm
love him.
Yeah.
so grateful for everything he did for me. Like he
Yeah.
turned me into a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, and I'm like, and I did like 1 million privates with him, and I was just like he was my coach. Like, and I was just like, I listened to what he said, and like he made me great at jiu-jitsu.
I feel like it's the most deserving belt that's given out.
It's a tough one. It's definitely purple belt is
It's like the hardest belt to get. Like
yeah.
the grind that I
agree.
see like guys go into before they get the purple belt.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're there every day. You're fucking ripping through all the guys.
Purple belts.
Ripping through all the guys.
No, but you're winning most of your battles. Like
Yeah,
the
purple
guys that
belt
I
is-
see get
is-
promoted to purple,
killers.
it's like they're fucking killers, bro. If you're a purple belt, you're a fucking killer.
Yeah.
You could be a blue belt like myself and like not really be that much.
Purple and up is like
Purple and up is
a purple belt for the most part. I'd say a purple belt will give a hard time to a purple belt can give a hard time to a black belt. Versus a blue belt won't give as much of a like. It depends also like on the level of the people. Like you got like super great blue belts.
Does weight class matter as much?
What do you mean?
Like let's say a black belt, 160 pounder fights. Like a black belt 140 pounder fights or like wrestles with or like Jiu-Jitsu's whatever rolls on the ground with. I don't know, a 180 pounder, 160 pounder,
blue belt,
40 pound.
The black belt will win.
Yeah. I mean, in theory, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what about purple? If he's like
still like
the black belt should win. Jiu-Jitsu is the only sport where the smaller guy always has a chance of beating the bigger guy.
Yeah.
Whereas the other sports is significantly different. Like when you get punched by a heavier dude, it hurts way too much. You know what I mean? For you to like stand and bang with a heavy.
Yeah. No, I think it also like every gym's different. So like one dude, one gym, like if you go to like something like Renzo Gracie's, or not anymore Renzo Gracie's, but like back in the day when like Renzo Gracie, like Gordon Ryan, the best jiu-jitsu guy in the world, like when he was a purple belt, he would have killed every black belt at every gym in Montreal.
But that's like the mecca of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it's like the best of the best.
It's like the best jiu-jitsu.
That's TriStar, no?
No, it's whatever.
Renzo Gracie back in the day. So it's
I thought you guys were talking about Montreal. Yeah, okay, sorry. I kind of
so the best jiu-jitsu in Montreal is 10th Planet and TriStar. Those are the two, like those are the hands two. Down, like they're the best jiu-jitsu.
And he's a black belt at 10th Planet and a purple belt at TriStar. So he's like a pretty legit fucking jiu-jitsu
killer.
Dude. Yeah,
killer.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm okay.
What do you think makes you? What part of you do you attribute your success in jiu-jitsu to being mostly like dedication, hard work, or do you feel like there's maybe physically or mentally some things that you're able, like some parts that you're able to tap into more than other people?
No, honestly, like the physically, I'm nothing special. Like there's dudes, and like Sam will attribute to this. Like there's dudes at 10th, they're just like fucking. Like
physical specimens.
They're just like, yeah, they're monsters. I'm not that guy. Like I'm in good shape, but I'm not like an athlete.
Leo is just a result of consistency, I think.
That's that's all it is. It's like I was consistent. I never stopped. I literally that's exactly it. It's just consistency. It's just I never stopped, and my brain was always like, I'm gonna get a black belt in jiu-jitsu. That's like no matter what. Like my one of my life goals. Like once I hit blue belt, I was like, I'm not quitting until I get my black belt. No matter what. So that was it. And like I'd show up, and like some days I didn't want to show up, and I sometimes I didn't. And like but I would never let more than a week go by without doing at least one session of jiu-jitsu. Yeah. And like sometimes I was doing
must cost a fortune.
I mean, whatever. It's like it's
$100 a month.
Yeah,
that's like nothing, bro.
Yeah, no, it's like $1,000 a year.
That's nothing, bro.
Yeah, about $1,000.
That's like a couple of beers.
Yeah.
What kind of beer are you drinking? Like,
beers at the Expos games.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. The Expos, Jesus. No, it's honestly like I'm very much. Oh, hey there. How you doing? Hey. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. We didn't talk about this. Yeah, no, it's just consistency. That's all it is.
Right. Did you ever compete? Mm-hmm. You competed when you were younger, right?
I competed like a couple of years ago. I every once in a while I'll be like, fuck it, why not? Yeah, I don't care for it.
You're a very laid back role. Is it mostly because like
I'm lazy? Yeah.
No, but not necessarily that. But like for the most part, like besides like the purple belts and the brown belts and the black belts, like people don't. A lot of the guys at the gym don't pose that much of a threat. You know what I mean? Like when you roll with me, you're like, yo, Sam, like come here, and you're just like super like chill about it.
Well, I mean, like I weirdly enough, I was more ego driven to like get the submission before I got a black belt. Then I got my black belt, and I was just like,
it's egoless.
I don't care anymore. Like I'm like, oh cool, you choked me out. I'm like, I have nothing to prove. Like I had so much to prove until I got there, and then now I'm like, whatever.
Jiu-Jitsu does something where it removes the ego a lot, and I feel like I definitely needed that because I think in my 20s I was too ego driven. Mm-hmm. I was very like trying to prove myself and like maybe trying to be cool or like. Just in a bad headspace when it comes to like my ego, and like jiu-jitsu just like dissolved it like over time. it's just because you're getting choked out like every day. Just being reminded of your own mortality and the fact that you ain't shit. Like you should believe to a certain extent that you the shit, but you ain't shit at the same time.
But I'm like,
Do you
know what I mean?
Do you think that somebody who's very skilled but doesn't have any of the moral compass to be a black belt, do you think he or she should get a black belt?
yeah, I don't think there's such thing as a moral compass in the world of martial arts.
Jiu-Jitsu?
Martial
Like
arts in
that-
general,
like
if you're a black belt, you like get your black belt. Who cares? It doesn't make you. That's one of the things that like if you go on like Reddit and stuff and Jiu-Jitsu on Reddit, like the subreddit on Jiu-Jitsu, it's really just like a lot of them say that it's like, hey, just because the person has a black belt doesn't mean they're a good person. It has nothing to do with that.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I
You
like
can be a
that.
complete piece of shit and have a black belt.
I like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like it's just skill, and then ultimately, like, and it's one of those things. And like, it was always very important to me to get it. And then the moment I got it, it was just like a deflation. I was just like, for the first like few weeks afterward, I was like, now what?
Yeah.
And I was just like, what comes next? And then I'm just
It's kind of what comes after a black belt.
Nothing. You get stripes.
That's
maybe.
the thing, though.
stripes
but
and
that-
like a coral belt.
Well, that's
but,
the thing. It's like
no one gets coral belts.
let's say you win an Oscar, okay?
What's after that?
Another Oscar.
Sure. Funny enough, I've actually thought about going into another martial art to like be like, cool, I'm gonna get a black belt in Taekwondo, or I'm gonna go get my black belt in Judo or something like that. But then I also like Judo's terrifying, so I won't do that. But yeah.
Have you been in any street fights ever since you?
I've never been in a street fight in my entire life.
That's good.
I've had like one instance where I literally have one moment in my life where like
You used
it came close to an
using
actual came close to using it, but I didn't actually do it because I was a hothead and it
You would have broken somebody's neck.
I mean, I don't even know. Like, who knows? Like, that's one of the things. Like, it's this idea of like just because I'm a black belt, like, I'm like, if I get in a street fight, like, someone like punches me in the face, I can get knocked out just as easily. Like, I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't. Like,
It doesn't
I can,
mean shit at the end of the day. you
it's
know?
ultimate. Like, it's. I think I have a bit of a more of a fight IQ than like a regular Joe. But I'm not
Yeah.
like I'm not invincible, and I'm like everything can like I've been knocked the fuck out.
Well,
in training.
at the same time, I think that's a better preparation. Like you're more prepared for physical altercations than the regular Joe.
Yeah, for sure.
Like in a sense that like if somebody swings, you might flinch a little, you might, move your head a little, you might like avoid
Well,
the punch or
it's-
you might roll with it a little bit more versus somebody who's literally been in school his whole life.
It's a body language thing. That's what I find.
Yeah,
that's what I
reading.
find. Like, that's kind of how it is. At least for me. Like, and I can't speak on everyone that does martial arts, but the time I've put into martial arts, when someone is wanting to be aggressive, or I get that aggressive vibe from them, you can tell by the body language that something's off. And I've had those instances of like someone that like clearly wants to fight me, and I'm just like, okay, I can tell this person wants to fight me.
and I'll avoid it.
Oh yeah, no. I every time that someone wants to buy like to start a fight with me, I buy them a drink.
Yeah, literally, bro. That's the way
Straight
to
up.
do it. That's the
Dude,
way to do
I
it.
don't want to fight anybody.
And the thing about mixed MMA that's a misconception. I think you're less likely to get into a street fight for the most part. Like generally speaking, you're just like more confident. I'm more grounded. More like I know the amount of violence that could actually happen.
Exactly.
And I don't want to go there.
feel like-
for a spilled drink.
Like that thirst is already quenched.
Yeah, exactly.
The thirst for every like human being to get like into that moment, which is very natural, that thirst is quenched. That envy is satisfied versus somebody who's never been in the flames.
Exactly.
Think they're firemen, but they're
Yeah.
not.
Well, it's that
Yeah,
it's that
you know,
it's that
it's
idea
very
of like
similar.
And yo, bro, at midnight sur Saint Laurent,
everyone wants to fight.
everybody's a fireman, and I would be scared out of my fucking. I would be scared shitless to find somebody in front of me that thinks he's a fireman. Because bro, you could get stabbed, you could get anything, whatever. You could get fucking knocked out, sucker punched,
Well,
and you're gonna be on the ground, bro.
This is the way I look at it. Like, and I'm like, as much as I avoid street fights, I enjoy watching fights on YouTube. Like when like those videos of like
Street fights on YouTube.
street fights, or like just like bullies getting like taken out by the person they're bullying and stuff like that. I'm like, I like that shit. But then there's also like a lot of those videos, what you end up seeing is like one guy punches a dude, and they're fighting in a parking garage or something, and then
Head on the concrete.
literally head on the concrete. I'm like, that's death
Yeah.
potentially, and I'm like, I'm not about that life.
I'm
like, I don't want to hit someone. I don't want to get hit. I don't want to die. I don't want to kill somebody on accident. I'm like,
There's go for it.
have a rum and coke.
No, but
on
yeah,
me.
all this to say, I would any day of the week pick a fight inside of the gym than outside of the gym.
Yeah, gloves
day.
or no gloves.
No, gloves inside the gym.
Yeah,
I feel so
but
much
even-
safer.
yeah.
And honestly, the more experienced the guy is in front of me, the safer I feel, because a lot of times like there's new guys that like they'll jump into sparring, like their first sparring, and they're nervous
A lot
and
of
they're
wild,
scared,
yeah.
and they don't realize it, but they're throwing like super hard because they're afraid to get hit. And
Spazzes.
They
It's very
they
spazzy.
spazzy.
Before starting
Very
the podcast,
spazzy.
I heard you guys talking about somebody that you guys were rolling with, maybe like a teacher. And Sam, you said I don't think he likes to roll with me anymore because the first time he rolled with me, I was like barely starting and I was too spazzy.
Yeah.
So,
Spazzy, yeah. That's the thing.
so spazzy in jujitsu, what does that translate?
It's like
into?
you don't know the movements and you don't know the tricks, and you're unable to rest in any position without freaking out and like flinching to the point that like you'll eye poke someone because you're just like too like nervous and you're like, oh, what's happening, and you're like eye poke someone.
It's
almost
that's
exaggerating.
Yeah,
No,
or
no, no,
like
but
an
like-
elbow in the face.
Yeah, and
or-
you're just like and you're
Yeah, yeah,
awkward,
yeah.
you know.
So it's this idea of just like, well, the thing is, yes, I agree with that partially. I think that's a pretty solid way of describing it. But I think the main thing is also just like you can get spazzy higher belts too. It's
Yeah.
just people that are just like they it's like very quick motions. They use their strength like crazy, and like you can get injured more that way kind of thing. So like a spazzy person is like someone that can potentially injure you with wild movements. Wild movements notoriously do happen more like when you're a lower level, when you're just starting, because like you have nothing and you're scared. So when someone like puts you in a certain position, you're like,
Oh,
it's
what's
someone, you're
happening? And
inside
you're freaking
control, and like someone's mounted or whatever it is, like you freak out and you're like, okay, I'm gonna use all my power, and like that's in that way. What Sam said makes a lot of sense in terms of like, if Sam fights me as a black belt, he's gonna be safer than if he fights a brand new white belt that's like super strong.
That's a beautiful way to say it though.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like the way that a black belt kind of like the role that person plays is kind of like when you go skydiving and like you put yourself on the back of somebody who's done like 1,000 jumps.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Almost.
That's kind of like the same thing in the sense that like you've been around the block. Don't worry, your eye's not gonna get poked out. I'm not gonna break your arm. Versus that if you get in a bad position with a brown belt, he might like, I don't know.
brown belts and black belts are pretty much the same thing.
Okay, I thought brown was like
It's up. Brown is up.
so-
okay, sorry.
brown
So
is
how,
white-
what does it go? White?
White, blue,
blue.
purple, brown, black.
Okay, so blue,
Yeah.
let's say.
Yeah.
You're just more likely to get injured with a new guy than a more experienced
Exactly.
guy. For instance, I had a sparring incident at Apex Muay Thai where like me and this guy like scrapped and we got kicked out from the gym by Ryan. Every Friday night we have sparring sessions.
Did you get kicked out permanently or just for the night?
No, just for the night.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, oh shit.
No. Like just for the, it was my first incident where we got too heated, and essentially it was a guy sparring for the first time, and he's like 6'4", and he was visibly like afraid and like spazzy and like I don't know what's gonna happen. So like he's taller than me, lankier than me, and I only have a certain amount of reach, and he has a 6'4" foot reach, and he was scared that I would like get close to him, so he's unloading kicks on my lead leg when I'm trying to approach and engage in a spar with him, which I wasn't gonna go crazy, but he just unloaded kicks, and then at the end of the round, the thing is when the guy's lankier than you, you have to kind of get touched before you get close to him, before you could like start exchanging when you guys are close to each other, because if not, he has the reach, and I only got able to get close to him at the end of the round. So I get close to him, I'm in the pocket with him, and I start swinging because I was pissed off because he's unloading on my leg like 100%.
Do you guys wear shin pads?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we wear shin pads, and nobody throws 100. Even the high level guys, they won't throw 100% on my leg to
I'll
like
fuck you up.
Super dangerous.
Yeah, it's like and like also kicking like this.
Oh, he's doing oblique kicks.
Yeah, like sometimes oblique kicks.
Wait,
I'm like,
that
what
dude
the
was
fuck?
doing oblique kicks on you?
Yeah. I was just like, yo,
That's so dangerous.
Yeah, because-
Imagine
That'll
this.
fuck up-
Yo,
that'll
what's
fuck
the
up your knee.
fucking insurance policy on these gyms? Anyways, go
yeah,
for it.
there's not, and a part of me, I didn't check my emotion, but I was pissed too. You know, I was pissed. I was like, yo, this guy's unloading on my leg.
You weren't checking your emotions or those kicks from the
Or
sound of
those
it.
kicks, yeah. And then I got in the pocket and we start swinging and the ring bells like ding 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 ding, like it stopped. You're supposed to stop, but I kept unloading. You know, I kept unloading and he unloaded and then he starts yelling. He's like, yo, bro, the round ended, bro. The round ended. And then my coach Ryan comes to see us both. He's like, yo, take your gloves off, take your shin pads off.
He should have made you guys kiss. Just gonna say.
We squashed the beef right there. I'm like, yo, my bad. No. We didn't kiss, but I'm like, yo, my bad.
Well, because realistically, you were out of bounds.
I was out of bounds, but he kind of...
It's more of an etiquette thing.
Yeah,
when the round ends, like you're supposed to.
Yeah,
No, of course,
you're supposed to definitely stop.
When for everybody at home, when the round ends, you're supposed to stop. So like, if anybody would have seen that on tape, they would have thought that you were the villain.
Yeah.
But realistically, there's the etiquette, which is way more subtle and like
the way of like, I mean, based off of my experience with that sort of thing is like the way I normally handle it, and when I did Muay Thai or when I did Taekwondo or when I did Jiu-Jitsu, whatever it is, if the person is out of bounds. Or like not out of bounds, but like out of line with the way they're doing things. I'll let the round run out. Once the round is run out, then I'll talk to them. I'll like just give them a chat. I understand though, like emotions get going. Like sometimes I've had moments in like fighting someone that's like trying to hurt me.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I've had guys that are like,
it must be scary and like fucking.
Well, there's guys in Jiu-Jitsu that like, so there's arm bars, there's leg locks and stuff, and some guys in Jiu-Jitsu they're just kind of like,
I'll break you.
They try to. So like in training, like if I get an arm bar on Sam, I'm gonna grab it and then I'm gonna extend his arm and I'll stop before the hyperextension, and then I'm gonna slowly
kind of show him where you're at.
He knows, and he has the ability to like potentially like get out, or if he doesn't want, he knows I'm not gonna be like boo instant break kind of thing. But there are people there are people that I get like not like bad jiu-jitsu people, but just kind of savages. They're just gonna be like, what? And they're going for it. And that's sketchy.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that I talk to.
And for that reason, every time I roll with a new guy or I spar with a new guy, I introduce myself. Hi, I'm Sam. What's your name? Like, you have to say that. Because I remember that guy, we didn't say nothing. We just like, yo, you want to go? You want to go? Okay, let's
go. That's
like,
so smart.
Yeah. You have to introduce yourself because...
it humanizes you.
It humanizes
the whole situation for sure. I don't want to kill Sam.
There's a dude at our gym that's like hyper violent, and I've called him out on it, and I've actually like shouted at him. Like I watched him like almost like kill a white belt with like a judo throw, and I'm like,
relax on the judo throw, bro.
Well, like it's like when you have like a judo throw against someone that knows how to break fall or knows how to like react to it, it's safer. But when you get someone that's never had that training, like you can fall on your neck.
On the back.
It's like, man, like
judo throws are like kind of like the first thing that anybody learns, you know?
Man.
I feel like in martial arts, it's kind of natural, like tripping turns into a judo throw, whatever. But like if you don't know how to land that motherfucker, bro, you could like get winded. Getting winded and like you don't know what it is, you could like think you're gonna die. Break your fucking, like you were saying, break your fucking arm.
Oh, I've had like my
tendons ripped.
Oh, my elbow 90 degrees the wrong way.
Oh,
like literally like 90 degrees this other way.
No.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Is that broken? Is that broken?
Dislocation. It was a complete dislocation of the elbow.
Thank God it's not broken.
Oh no, yeah, 90-degree break would have been devastating for sure.
Devastating.
Yeah, no, that was a 10th Planet back on the Wellington location. I was rolling with a guy, and it was a dude that was like, I knew that I was better than him. I was a higher level than him, so I was being more lazy and aloof and like letting him work. And then I put my arm between his legs while he's on side control, and basically the position I was in, I should have like had a bend in my elbow to be able to like stop his legs, but I was completely like extended, not thinking about it, and he just scissored his legs to get up, and it was an instant. Like
oh my God.
I remember looking at my elbow and it was like literally like upside down like a cartoon. I was just like, okay. And I was like, it was a complete like moment of just like, and then I got up and I started moving it and it just like went back into place.
The human body is crazy. The human body is crazy. Like the way that like you could like find yourself with a 90-degree thing and like your body's gonna be like, yo, let me just.
But
it's like fucking.
It can also not
Piccolo.
do that. It can also just be like, okay, this is here now.
If you have a break.
It's even like a real
but dislocations, you could very well just like
so Sufyan from the gym just dislocated his kneecap. Were you there that day?
No, I wasn't there that day, but he's so strong.
He's very good. He's very, very good. He's one of those phenoms that we talk about. He's like Luka. Like Luka is like a purple belt that'll like he gives me a fucking hard time. I'm a black belt
this
and
kid
like
is like 20 years old.
He's
Okay,
a monster.
okay. Enough
Anyways,
with the
anyways,
fucking
anyways.
jujitsu talk, you fucking animals.
We gotta
we'll
into
stop.
it.
So,
it's exciting. It's
how-
fun. Why don't you get into jiu-jitsu?
Sam has been telling me like
Yeah,
a
you're
lot.
tall.
Like,
You're
I
tall. You're
should,
lanky. You'll be good at
He
triangles.
would be good at
for
jiu-jitsu.
sure. You gotta cut your hair maybe because like that gets in the way.
Yeah, it's
your
it's too
nails.
long right now.
He has like weed budding nails.
I have weed budding.
Oh, you gotta
nails, yeah.
stop. You gotta stop that though. That's bad. That's
The
bad
nails?
news.
Yeah.
I tell that the girl I'm seeing right now. Like
I
she had,
used
like
to
her nails were a little bit long, and I'm like, you gotta cut those. She's like, I'm a girl. I don't do jujitsu. I'm like, you should cut those.
But honestly, yo, nails are the worst for basketball. Like I play ball outside when it's nice outside. Like it's the worst for like you're playing defense. You're just like, and you're like, I feel like because you feel like a bitch, right? Because you're like, I just scratched you, bro. It's like
I just broke a nail. It's like, oh god.
You scratch the guy, you're like, yo, you broke my nail,
bro,
bro.
you
What
broke-
the fuck?
yo.
I mean, I'm making funny, but I pay my nails, so I'm like,
But you see, like,
who
this-
am I? Who am I to judge? Fucking professional, Sam.
Okay, I'm turning this off.
Jesus Louises. Airplane mode.
Apparently, if you get a lot of sun, your nails grow faster. And I've been like paying attention to it, and it's true, bro. Like in the winter, like my nails grow much slower, and in the summer, like bro, like
You're like a beautiful flower.
exactly.
That needs sunlight and
Like,
water.
it's like literally
if-
my
as long as
body's
you
growing.
take a bunch of showers and go and tan, your nails are gonna keep growing really well.
Exactly. I
Yeah,
like
maybe
that.
you get little fruits on it. You get a good harvest.
A little bit of like little fucking wine,
Little strawbies on your
little straws and
little kissy, little sweet kissy strawbies on your fingers.
So, listen, I want to know, how does your jujitsu experience translate to your cooking experience?
It doesn't at all. That's pretty much the answer. I mean,
The worst question in the world.
no, it does not. This is not.
Yeah, but it's
Okay. You know what? Yes, it does in one way. Me getting to where I was in jiu-jitsu was about consistency and sticking with something. And throughout my life, martial arts were the only thing that I was consistent with.
Yeah.
My career and the things I've done, and I've done like a million different videos and shoots and whatever it is. And this, I never knew where my career was going to go in terms of videos. I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to do like Sam gets it. Like he does the freelance video stuff too. It's like you get called job to job and you try to be creative. You try to deliver a nice product and it's always something new. You're dealing with new bullshit every day. And then my brain went to, okay, I want to be in front of the camera and I like to cook and I need to make a YouTube show. And originally I was like figuring out different with my ex-girlfriend, like we were brainstorming, like she knew I wanted to make something with me in the front of the camera, but there was no real idea of what it was going to be. And then I was like, we split and I was just kind of in a weird like COVID haze and creative rut and nothing was fun in terms of like the content I was making. I was bored with like working with people. And I was like, just do it yourself and like just make something. And I literally just said like, okay,
Cooking.
I'm gonna do I'm gonna do a cooking episode randomly. And then I was like, I did that episode, and then I was like, oh, that was kind of fun.
and was the reception good?
No, absolutely not. Like it was like, well, I mean, like the people liked it. Like the my friends and the 18 people that saw it were like, this is really cool. You should do another one. I'm like, all right, fuck it. And then it was Corey.
But at the end of the day, you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for you.
now
you
I
know?
am. So basically, like the first couple. Sorry, it's always been for me. But like the first couple was like just like I needed something new that I could be happy doing and that could potentially grow into something. And I was like, okay, we'll see where this goes. And I did a couple episodes, and then one of my friends, she was like, hey, have you thought about TikTok? And I'm like, well, that's in my brain. TikTok was always
I remember telling you in front of the gym. I was like, yo, you should get on TikTok.
Yeah.
He's like,
Because you were
fuck,
doing
man.
videos, but you weren't posting on TikTok.
I was never posting. At the beginning when I started, I wasn't
What is
posting
it,
on TikTok.
Facebook?
No, but
on YouTube. I was just YouTube only.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
YouTube is rough, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
You're gonna
good
literally
stuff.
get 20 views, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like,
for sure. Some of my videos probably have 20 views. But like it was one of those things I was like, I did a couple episodes. And even before TikTok, I was like, okay, you know what? I need consistency no matter what. And I've met like in my filming days of like traveling around and like doing a bunch of different content, I met like really big name YouTube people with like millions of followers, millions of subscribers and stuff. And I always ask them like, oh, what's the secret to like a bunch of subscribers? And they always say the exact same thing. Every single one of them is just consistency. Just don't stop. Like don't like you post every Thursday, don't post Friday. Like just fucking output. output. Just don't stop. Like no matter what, output. So then I was like, okay, my goal now is like, I told myself, I'm going to do 100 recipes no matter what. People are going to give me advice. People are going to give me notes. People are going to give me criticism. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. It's all white noise. Just fucking make
tunnel
100.
vision.
Yeah.
Kind of like me with my band, honestly. It's always been like that. Like now it's like pretty successful. So people are like, oh, yo, man, I'm so proud of you. But or like whatever. Like you always stuck to what you were doing. But while I was doing it, I was getting no feedback. For
sure.
None of that shit was happening.
That's huge, for sure.
And then when it starts popping off, like, oh, I always believed in you and shit. I'm like, did you though?
No, but
did you though?
okay, yes and no, but at the same time, I'm like, because everybody feels like they're the victim of not getting the well-deserved recognition that they feel like they should have until they finally surface. But then I think about it, I'm like, there's probably a lot of people right now that I'm not reaching out to be like, yo, bro, I know you're working on this thing. Keep working on it. You know what I mean? We don't get those messages when we're in the dark and we're working on a shit and it's not working and you're just suffering alone. For the most part of being a creative is you're suffering alone.
It's brutal, for sure.
It's fucking brutal.
It's very taxing, 100%.
And then,
But you don't get those messages. It's true.
no, but you don't get it.
But I'm not sending.
I'm not sending those messages either.
But yo, at the same time, bro, like I have people like sending me messages, DMs, like, "Hey, yo, like, can you listen to my song? Like, I've been trying to do, like, I'm a huge fan, and like, I fucking respond like all the time, you know.
But that's good that you do that.
And I always do. But I've always been very supportive too.
Yeah.
I've always been very supportive to the people, like to my creative community. Like, even though like Sam, like before starting the podcast, I was hanging out with you like once every 6 months, you know, and I was
Not
always
even
the first
once every 2
year and a
years.
half, and I was always always commenting, always sending you DMs.
Yeah,
yo,
he
this
was.
is sick. This is sick.
Yeah, it's true that he kind of supported me throughout my journey, and it's
But
funny,
not a lot of people are like that.
not a lot of people like that, but it's good that you're like that because I remember when I wanted to do stand-up comedy for the first time, and we have a friend called Sirag who is a good stand-up comedian right now, and I remember being like all super insecure about it. I'm like, yo, bro, do you want to read my jokes before I go on stage? He's like, yeah, sure, I could do it, bro, but for the most part, you're just gonna have to go up there and like try it yourself. You know what I mean? And now and then I realized that I'm being like awkward about it. I'm like, you know what? It's all good, bro. Like, I wrote down my jokes and I did the stand-up bit. You know,
You did some stand-up?
I did it once.
Like an open mic kind of
Yeah,
thing?
open mic. Yeah,
Like where? Comedy Nest?
the one at the forum,
Yeah, Comedy Nest. Yeah.
Comedy Nest. Yeah.
How'd you do?
I think it did pretty well for my first time.
You got some laughs? That's all that matters.
Yeah, I got some laughs. Yeah,
That's all that matters.
Do you smoke?
I'm good, thank you.
yeah.
I didn't think so.
Oh, I do normally. I'm just like, I just got over a flu, so my asthma is like, hey, you want to smoke? No, you don't. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'll end up coughing the rest of the show.
got
these
have you
pink
had
lungs.
asthma your whole life?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
have I. Yo,
yeah.
we have a lot in common, bro. I've had asthma. I'm an underappreciated creative.
I'm not underappreciated. People love me. Bro, I got 30,000 followers. Like people are on my shit.
Yo,
They love
dude,
it.
you know what we say? We say Alhamdulillah, man.
Alhamdulillah.
You're doing good, man, and I'm happy for you, and I'm
But-
jealous as fuck too. No, I'm joking.
I mean, I'm not like I'm nowhere near where I want to be, kind of thing. But like, it's fun to just cook, and it's like. For me, the big thing was like being able to find something that I actually enjoy doing. That I'm like,
Yeah.
even when I'll post a video, like the video I posted this week probably got like 4,000 or 5,000 views max. And it's like nothing, and I'm just like, and I'll be like, oh, I'm depressed about like the no views. But then I'm like, I enjoyed making that episode, and then I'll make another episode next week because I still enjoy doing it. It's fun. It's exciting, and I get to be myself, and like my ADHD kind of comes out a bit when I'm cooking. A little bit more than what it normally does. So yeah.
Don't you wish you had I guess more self-confidence and self-esteem like 10 years ago when like social media content was just starting out? Because like now everybody's making a run for it.
Well,
like 1 in 2 people are content creators.
Yeah, but it's like saying
Or a podcaster.
don't you wish you invested in Bitcoin or like Amazon? It's like it's the same thing. Like I wish I would have had like I wish I had this cooking channel when YouTube was starting, and like I'd be the next Jenna Marbles, except not as pretty. She's very pretty.
Yeah.
Very pretty. But anyways, yeah. I don't know anymore, but yeah, she's definitely like, yeah.
Now everybody's making a run for it because everybody understands the economy surrounding like content creation. And
But
like,
yo, this man started as TikTok during a pandemic.
So yeah, no, basically what, like,
You're part of the same wave.
Sam was
We're part of the same wave too.
well, yeah, we're part of the same wave of
Except I've been making music for 10 years, 15 years,
But
you know, but
technically-
like,
Yeah.
and you've been making content as
For a
well
long
for like
time.
the same time. But
I've
like,
been making videos since I was 17 years old, so I'm 35 now. So yeah,
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's
been a
like
minute.
so it's been a while,
Yeah.
but like to actually make it under your name, start a channel, that's a different story. You know?
Yeah, it's true. It is.
Because I've always been making music for other people, producing other people, recording other people, doing
Exactly. You
But,
did it for other people.
Exactly.
But I'm so happy that I didn't like everything falls into place. Like I started a YouTube channel in 2012, but I stopped after 12 videos. And then I started a podcast when I did like maybe 10 episodes and I stopped. But I'm so happy that happened in hindsight because I'm like, bro, my self-esteem, my insecurities were like so huge inside of me. Like they were not, I wasn't even aware of them. Like
you got
that's-
rid of yours? Holy shit! What's the secret?
No, not necessarily rid of, but they got smaller because I became aware of them. I'm like, oh, this is why you feel this way, and then I had time to grow as a human. You know what I mean? So I'm more comfortable in front of the camera. I'm more comfortable like talking shit, and yeah, maybe it like the way it happened. You're like, oh fuck, I wish I would have been more consistent in the past, but like you're kind of happy that it happened this way because
Well, that's it. Like that's it. Like the way you look at it is that you can't like you're in the position you are in now because of the experience you have in the past. So like
Right.
for like my show and stuff is I got to 40 episodes because of the experience I've had before that. So my brain would have never been able to handle that workload back in the day. But now I'm just like, cool. This
Yeah.
is like you need. Something
Yeah,
like
exactly.
that.
And also after 40 episodes, your shit gets better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, who's to say? But like, it's definitely I'm doing more.
Well, that's the idea, right? The idea is that you get better at something, and whatever you define as being better. If you define being better means like getting more views and more attention on your videos, and you're able to after 40 episodes get more views and attention on your videos, it means you're doing better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure. But-
And I feel like it's the only quantifiable things in the arts in general. It's like if you're making like visual arts, how much money can you sell your thing for? If you're making music, how many people are going to listen to your music? How many tickets can you sell? If you're making TikTok videos, how many views? It's always that, right? It's always like that's the money in this industry, the entertainment industry, is how many people could look, see, or fucking taste your shit, you know? And I feel if you're getting good on those numbers, then you could quantifiably say that you're doing better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
I see a growth with my content
Well,
in terms
there
of
you-
like going from nothing, no followers to like 300, 400,000
Exactly.
views for on a video. I'm just kind of like, oh shit, and people comment and people engage and they say nice things, and I'm like,
So
I've
it's
seen a
safe to say
difference
that you're doing better.
than when I started. Oh yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
exactly, and also just on an interpersonal level, like I feel like I'm a better person than I was 10 years ago,
Yeah.
just on a human level.
I don't know. I didn't know you 10 years ago. So
Yeah, I know, but I feel like
I
everybody.
know you 3 years ago, and that's bullshit.
There's something that like I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy, which is like being stuck in a place. Like I've known people that like I didn't get along with in the past, maybe that bullied me, you know, and I'm so much further than I was before. And when I hear about these people, they're still stuck in the same shit, you know? And I'm like, fuck, I'm doing so much better. And I know that like you're not, you're still in the same situation, you know what I'm saying? And it's one of the biggest blessings in my life is the ability to adapt and trying to become a better person and having that hindsight, you know? And I feel like the most successful people I know are the people that are willing to put themselves in uncomfortable situations. Might it be getting a new job? Might it be moving for your music, for your art, whatever? Might it be this? Might it be that? Might it be starting a cooking channel? Might it be starting a podcast? You know, like putting yourself out there. Like those people are the people that like that separate. I don't know. I don't want to say success and not success, but you know, we were talking about like, hey, like when you went and you met a whole bunch of YouTubers, you were like, hey, what's the secret to success or whatever? And it's like, what are they gonna tell you? It's like, nah, man. It's like, it's not a certain thing. It's believe in yourself and just fucking take it seriously. Shoot your shot and try it. And like at the end of the day,
And don't stop trying. That's the big thing. Is like a lot of people will get discouraged early on. So it's like the moment that you do like 5 videos and then you don't get like the traction, like you get like 4 subs on YouTube after like a month of making videos, you're like, fuck it. But like the reason why most of them make it is literally because they're like, they don't look at that as being like oh, this is the final number. It's like, no, it's like I'm doing what I want to do. So like these video game streamers, these whatever, like celebrity
Mr. Beast.
chefs, whatever.
Mr. Beast. We're all like funnier, probably better looking, and like more charismatic.
He's good looking. He's very charismatic.
Like he, like when you look at him, you're not like, oh my god, he has it all. Like that's not what I think.
Yeah,
When I think,
exactly.
he's just a man who had a work ethic. And how many YouTubers do you know that you just see them, you're like, he's not that. They're not that funny. They're not necessarily like they don't have a personality that's remarkable, but you know that what they have is a work ethic.
Yeah, or yeah. I mean, it's definitely like I think that is the key to everything. It's like just work ethic. Like you
but that's
can't be
also
discouraged. And, like,
that's also a hot subject though. To say that somebody's success is relative to
The work
how
ethic?
good looking,
No,
charismatic,
honestly not,
and
but-
but it's a good point though. It's like if you're in the entertainment industry, right? What have been the factors that define a good entertainer since the beginning of time?
good looks, and charisma is like
charisma or like
humor.
Humor. Yeah,
Humor.
yeah. That falls into charisma. I feel.
Oh, that falls.
But
into
I don't know
charisma.
if it does. It probably doesn't. But like that's the way I see it. And even good looks, it's not even necessarily good looks, but just a good face, right? Like a face that could be like, if you're playing in a theater, doing fucking theater shows, and you have the face of a villain.
If you're playing in a theater doing theater shows,
I don't know. I'm being drunk right now, but like, doing the theater thing, it's like not everybody has to be good looking because like some people have to play the villain, some people have to play the this or that, But like, if you have that face, you could be an entertainer. You don't have to be good looking. You just have to have that face, right?
you need a look.
Okay, no, but
A
you
look,
need a look.
exactly.
But if you don't have the look, your skills have to be 100% on point. I
Yeah,
find.
exactly. But I feel like this whole what you're saying, what you're expressing is like Mr. Beast and stuff is like personally, I haven't really listened to his shit, so I can't really speak on him. But like I've seen his face, I've seen his content, some of it, and it has nothing to do with his face. It has nothing to do. It has a lot to do with his charisma because I feel he is pretty.
I think he's very charismatic, yeah,
charismatic
100%.
person, and the quality of his content, and again, persistence. Right?
He's driven.
Yeah.
He's
He's
driven.
a driven ass motherfucker.
He also like
He has more drive than all of
He also he also talks about like the way he invests his money. Like they make like insane money with the show and the views, but
reinvest.
he's talking about the margins being like razor thin. Like they almost come out of it with nothing because they just put everything right back into the stuff they make, which is super like.
It's very intelligent.
It's also highly risky.
But it's that goes to show how much confidence he has in his product.
Well, it also shows that it's like for him, it's not about the money. It's about like he loves doing it.
Exactly.
And, like,
It's all about
he loves
the product.
making stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need a pee pee.
Okay, so another pee-pee break, and then we're gonna jump into topics, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
Okay, cool, perfect.